Walleye season is here, and we welcome back in Matt Melzak, the voice of the Toledo Walleye. Thank you for joining us, Matt.
Always a pleasure, Mark. It's been a little while since I've seen you, so looking forward to getting back at it on these Mondays.
We've put the bats and the balls away. Mud Hen season is over. Now we got the sticks and pucks out and the tapes around the blades. We are ready to go. The first two exhibition games in the books. Fortunately, 2 losses, but they both went to overtime and showed some good things out of the field.
And I would tell you, Mark, that I think out of those 2 games, outside, especially the game on Friday, outside of those first few minutes of the third period, Toledo dominated a lot of that game against Kalamazoo. They went up to Kalamazoo and they outplayed them there as well. You felt like that they played very well in those games, probably deserved a better fate. But you know what? In the preseason, doesn't matter as much in the final score. It's more of that evaluation and kind of tinkering and getting guys out on the ice, seeing how they go against a real opponent. And you know what? I think Toledo will be ready to go come this Saturday in Kalamazoo.
Season opens on the road. The first game as with the new head coach, Pat Mickish. Obviously, what Dan Watson has built is a very solid foundation. How does he build upon that? How does he make it his own team?
I think it's interesting on a couple of factors. A, you only have one vet in this lineup for the Toledo Walleye, and that's Pat McGrath, back for another season with the Toledo Walleye. So, he's the only vet side. You're not a full young group because you got a lot of guys that have played a year in the league, have played at other spots, at least have a year's experience. But it is a younger team, so it's fast, I think. I think it's one of those teams that can get after you and score some goals. I think it's going to be very keen. It kind of just reminds me a little bit of, maybe the Derek Lalone coach teams where it felt like it was a speed and puck control type of team. More so, I think the last couple of years we've added a little bit more size to it with Dan Watson. So it'll be interesting to see how it translates because that can be, it depends on how guys finish each game, when they're out there. As far as scoring goes, it will dictate a little bit of how well and how successful this team ends up being.
We were blessed last season with some real prospects on the Walleye team. They are moving up as you would hope they would. Who are some of the prospects to look for this year?
I think this year you're gonna again look at the goal side right out of the gate, and you're gonna see a guy like Jan Bednar. And let's see, he played Saturday night in Kalamazoo in the preseason game. See how he developed. 4th round pick in 2020. We saw him. He was coming back off an injury late last year. He got in a couple of games. The Toledo Walleye got a win. Let's see what he can do over the course of a full season. Obviously, that'll be one of the telling signs because, a 4th round pick, you're still thought of as a guy that could be a guy that escalates and comes across and becomes an NHL player. So we'll keep an eye on him. I think is probably as far as prospects go, the guy you would start with and look at. And of course, you got a lot of younger guys too that are going to be part of this organization this year, and we'll see how they fit in over the course of the season because there'll be some guys that'll shoot up and we'll start calling their names a lot, like a Centazzo, some of those ilk, but we need to see how they go at the beginning of the year.
And it all begins this Saturday night on the road, Kalamazoo, a 7 o'clock start. And then next Friday, they're stay on the road, Fort Wayne.
Fort Wayne, yeah.
But we got 2 weeks for the home opener, but the season begins for real this Saturday. Looking forward to seeing the Walleye. Looking forward to seeing Matt Melzak all season long. Thanks, Matt.
Thank you, Mark. Appreciate it, as always.